In today's episode of the Buff Del Campo Show, I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things, and I'm here. We're gonna have to take my van. I have to go to the local hardware store and get some flexi pipe to drain the house so it doesn't flood the crawl space anymore. And hopefully that will assist with keeping rodents out of there, because there's a whole ecosystem down there when there's too much moisture. I'm here with my van and with Buff Del Campo, and we are off on our journey mission. This is a mission. Dun 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 da 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 doo doo doo. The van started? Boy, I miss driving my van. We made it successfully to the perma-noon of the local Lowe's shopping center. Still here with Buff Del Campo. He survived the trip. Gotta go in and we gotta find flexi pipe for the downspouts. I don't know if I mentioned that before. And I have a pretty good idea what we want to look for. We already I did a little bit of light trenching today, but it's hard work, so I might need like a trenching shovel or a hoe or something like that. I'm sure you know what a hardware store looks like. It is this behemoth of a place. It's brightly lit and they have all the things. I'm gonna drive the little cart so I don't have to walk, because it's a long way. Oh, we got music.
Can't have music.
Got lots of shovels, but the one I'm looking for, this is the one that I'm looking for. See, you can step on it real good and you can pry way down, and that's deep enough for the pipe. This is the one we need. It is $40. I hate to spend the money, but the amount of time it's going to take us to build our own trenching spade, that's the ticket. The ground that we have is very rocky, and this is kind of the tool for digging a trench through this rocky ground. But I am retired from a 5-pound garden trenching pickaxe. There is no way I can swing that repeatedly. Oh, look at this hammer. Oh my gosh, that's such a nice hammer. And we're probably gonna need one of these this winter, but we're gonna wait.
You can straighten out bumpers fast.
We're gonna wait. I know, that would fix all kinds of broken stuff with that. Never seen a hammer like this. Oh, what do you think of that?
Man, how much is that? That's
I don't
one
know,
for straightening
50 bucks or something?
bumpers.
Yeah. Look, that's a 10-pounder. That's nice. I'm coming back for one of them.
You and I can't swing. We can't swing that.
I know. I can't do nothing anymore. Alright, it's nighttime, but we can still go to the outside piping section. And luckily, they have rolls. That's a 50-foot roll. We're not putting 50 foot of pipe in. We need not. We don't want corrugations or perforations, because roots will just grow in it. I think it's back there. Let's see. Yeah, see, this has little holes all through it.
That's not good.
Yeah, we don't want that, because that just lets roots in. I don't care if the water gets out, but roots getting in is very not kosher. Here we go. This is solid. It's 16 bucks for a 10-foot section. I mean, 10 foot away from the house would be great, but I think we're going to need 2 of these to really do it right.
Some of that rectangular drain pipe that comes down off the house.
No.
Oh.
We're going to do it as cheap as possible.
Okay, I didn't know if you had to route that to this or if it's already done.
Nope, we're just going to stick that on the downspout and it'll be golden. Just make sure you don't get the stuff with the holes in it, because the roots love that. And then in a year or 3, it'll all be all clogged up.
What's that white stuff?
That is like for French drains.
I don't know what a French drain is.
Well, you put it around
What,
the
in
foundation
France?
of your house
Okay.
in France, and then you eat toast, French toast, and you say oui oui. And see, this keeps the mud from locking up the pipe, and then the water oozes in and then gets in the pipe and it can leave. Right? Because if you just
I didn't have any idea.
I mean, you're supposed to bed the pipe in gravel, but I guess they assume that you're not going to, and they use some kind of trash in there. I don't know.
Is this all we need?
Seems gimmicky. You're supposed to use gravel. Well, we could use these snap tees, but I don't want to. They're expensive. we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna jam this over the downspout and then run it away from the house.
So this will be, one end will be up out of the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we'll hit it with some spray paint so it doesn't get UV destroyed. You seem unhappy.
I'm thinking.
We'll plant a bush in front of it, you'll never see it. Self-checkout is nice. Start scanning. Recording in process. They're recording us, I'm recording them. There any tags over there? We should have looked for tags. Darn it, if that wasn't stupid.
Be all out of control.
I didn't like that one.
What did you do?
Didn't like it. Buff Del Campo returning the cart. He's just that kind of guy. We are also going to Publix because Buff Del Campo needs some lettuce to make his sandwich or a salad. And our local store is not having good produce.
Every week that other store puts more rotten lettuce out.
It is, it's pretty deplorable. It costs more, but it does look like they have a couple of heads of lettuce that are not rotten. That doesn't look like a rotten head.
It does? Or doesn't?
No, that looks okay. This one's not too bad. Can I get that one too? I don't know.
Okay.
Look through them. I don't know what else we're gonna get, but this isn't supposed to be a long shopping trip. Okay, they have self-checkouts here too. 10 lines, no waiting. We got 2 lettuces.
So is this what we want?
Yes.
Где машина means where's the car? See, in Russian, machina, with machine, if you don't say anything else, it means your car. But you'd be more specific what kind of machine. It might be like a lighter, like a fire machine. Okay. So machina is your car.
So it probably doesn't look like much. I had to remove some weeds and grass from the flower bed here. And the old stone that was like the gutter stone, it really wasn't helping because the water was going uphill and then coming right back in to the footer here. We've got it cleaned out. I'm using our tiller to sort of break up this soil, but it's tough, right? Because the tiller doesn't like rocks, you know, and this is kind of for tilling, you know, garden soil. This is more like driveway area that's got grass going through it. There's definitely a downhill that way already, so we just want to get it covered with some soil so it doesn't freeze right away, and then maybe 10 months out of the year we'll get good drainage away from the footer, and that'll keep us more dry. Maybe not 100% dry, but a lot more dry. I mean, there was a pond, literal ponding in the crawl space, and that's really bad under living areas to have standing water. There was frogs in a picture. I'll see if I can find that picture, but I'm sure I can't. But at one point there was frogs in the basement. So yeah, we don't want an ecosystem. We just want it to become a desert down there where there's nothing but maybe scorpions. Shoot, start recording, then I find a rock. It's very picky about its rocks. If it hits the wrong way, even a little one will stop it. Let's see if we can restart her. It usually restarts. Now I don't really have to dig, I just scoop the rocks and the dirt out of the hole, and then I repeat the process. You can see the ditch out there that I'm digging. The rototiller and the ditch. Anyways, it's gonna take me a couple more days. Luckily the forecast looks like it's gonna cooperate. We shouldn't have rain till next Wednesday. By then we'll have a pipe in the ground and we should not get flooded. We didn't need a wide trench, but the machine does the wide trenching. Up near the house I had to do by hand a little bit, but I just uses the spade, and the digging bar is good for little bitty roots and vines and stuff. And then we don't want to leave the rocks in the ditch because they will crush the pipe there. They hold the pipe down while we fill dirt, and then we take the rock off and then we fill that spot with dirt. And what that does is that locks the pipe in so it doesn't lift off the bottom of the ditch, because we want to keep it under the ground where it's not going to freeze. It's not as important as like a water supply line because it's not always going to be filled with water, but we don't really want it to freeze full of water because then it won't drain. A couple of inches of dirt will get us through part of the winter and thaw out first in the spring during the rains. That'll get us there. And I pulled this up out of the ground and up there. It's not very deep right there. I mean, it's tough to make that turn without ditching in. We don't want a puddle of water right there, so we're just gonna mound up a little bit of dirt here, maybe put this rock back over top of it and all. And then I have this other section of pipe. Once this is buried out to here, we'll put that other piece of pipe on, and then we'll bring the skid load, move the car and bring the skid loader over and bury the rest of it. And what we do is we put a layer of dirt in, and then we walk it in, and then another layer and walk it in because we want it bedded in there. If you get dirt all the way around, this is nice because this dirt's really soft, but if you have big chunks of dirt or big clumps of clay, you don't want big spaces of air and clumps. So at that point you might want to get sand or gravel, but since this is dry and loose, we'll bed the whole pipe in real good, and that will keep the pipe from collapsing. So this is pretty ideal conditions for bedding in a piece of pipe without any gravel. If we had gravel, that's what I would want to do, because then even if the pipe fills up, the gravel kind of drains. This pipe is going to be good for a long time. The worst thing about this pipe is it will get roots in it at some point, no matter what we do. But that's going to take some years. We didn't get perforated pipe, so all the water should stay in the pipe, at least at first. I don't know, that's how this goes. It's a lot of work for just 2 people. It's going to get the water away from our foundation, which is super, super important. And if you can't tell, it goes really steep here and then a gradual fall away down that way still. It'll be enough. You don't need a lot of run, like water, you know, finds its way downhill. That's all we need. Wasn't steep enough, I would get a level out here, but I can just tell walking down the bottom of the ditch that there's plenty of fall. This pipe is molded with a joint. It doesn't get glued or anything like that because it's just underground drainage pipe. So we just stick it on there, and we'll stick it on there and lay it out in the ditch. Probably a 8 to 10 foot radius that this pipe is super easy for, but you can see you can do a 2 foot radius on that pipe and it doesn't really care. And where it sticks out of the ground, we should probably hit it with some paint because, well, I mean, we've got a lot of trees. They keep the sun off of it, but UV is what destroys this pipe the fastest. You know, it'll last for lots and lots of years if you keep the sun off of it. Okay, it is tomorrow. We need to get that working. And last night we did a little work on this. We'll see more about it in a future upcoming video. If you know, you know. Okay, it's time for the Case 1816B to earn its keep. It is a highly modified and empty. Shoot, I left this open and now it is empty. Okay, all the oil has leaked down. Well, the chain is well lubricated. That's important. Okay, well, we refill it, and then hopefully we can take this off. Tractor fluid in it. It is filling up. You can see some bubbles slowly, yeah, purging from the system. That will, once we start it, it will go. A liberal treatment of deep woods off. And fuel. Let's see if we get some fuel. Do we have fuel? Come on, fuel. Come on now. There she goes. Choke goes on over here, and then crank it. See, the choke automatically goes off, so I need 2 hands, but I have a feeling it's going to start, and then I'll take you over and we'll set up the camera while we pour some dirt in the hole. Every Pokemon on the team has its battle, right? The dart. is really good for getting groceries, but the skid loader excels at pushing loosely packed dirt into a hole. This spent many years of its life pushing chicken poop around on a commercial chicken farm, and that's where it earned its keep, and now it is retired to just pushing dirt into a little shallow trench. It doesn't dig really very well, it doesn't grade, but man, does it push dirt back into a hole really well. It pushes sticks around, loose leaves, things like that. It is a light machine. Case skid loader, go! ASMR for the eyeballs of this thing pushing dirt into a hole. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but once it starts running, it loses its prime. There's not enough fluid in the machine to actually run everything. So yeah, don't let all the fluid drain out of your machine. I'm gonna put some more in there and then we will proceed. All right, that should do it. Well, that was an embarrassing non-tutorial of how to run this machine. I'm having belt slipping, which is causing my left-hand motor to slip. That's because I got oil on it last time I blew out a hose, and that just makes it slip like crazy. So I'm gonna have to wash that off with some detergent. I still need another probably 2 quarts of fluid in there. When you're a little bit sideways, it sucks air. So more to do. You get the idea. I don't know how much of that you are interested to watch, but we're gonna get that ditch. And honestly, it looks like, oh my gosh, you could have just done that by hand. Like, no. I mean, yeah, but I don't want to, and I have the machine, and you know, it's a good little light duty test of it. Like, it runs fine. It operates when it's not running out of fluid. You know, things are coming together. Boy, the machine is very slow, and I guess it's the foaming. But I just think that it is antique hydraulics, and they're just not that fast. I still do love the machine, though. Well, it ain't pretty looking, but it's pretty done. Well, for now. Like this, we're gonna do something so that but the important thing is that the water doesn't sit up here. And that little spout is just, I wanted this dirt to not go way over there, but turns out it didn't try to anyways. This is a lot higher than it was. That's where all the dirt went. There was a really low spot here where the water was seeping in. So this is where we walk. So I gotta rake this out. I can't. That's as good as I could do. That's as clean as I can make it with that machine the way it's running right now. It's squealing. The belt is getting worse and worse. I'll bet I have to replace this belt. What happened is I blew a hydraulic hose and it went all over this belt assembly. I might be able to tighten it. I don't know. I'll work on it. It's out here with the hose. I'm gonna maybe spray it out a little bit, but it put in some good work. I'm okay with it. I could sleep at night knowing that it did that. And then the other thing is the UPS man paid us a visit, 5 days, 6 days from Texas to Tennessee, is fine with me. They even delivered it on a Saturday. So that is going to give us the ability to, you know, just roll right in from the digging project into the project where we finish rebuilding the valve body for our, I'm trying to do things, sorry here. So parts have arrived from Texas, yay UPS, for our Bronco 2. The Bronco 2 needs, we have the transmission dropped. It needs new paper gaskets in the valve body. Now that I have the parts to put it back together, I feel brave enough that I can finish taking it all apart. The problem with taking it all apart and then waiting for gaskets is that sometimes I will forget what goes where. There's some check balls and whatnot. Not all these bolts are the same length, so actually that's scary because it's been a week already. Hopefully we'll never get too deep in the water that we get more water in it again. Maybe that might even be fun. And then no mercy for me, Buff Del Campo reminded me that we do have a steel rake, and I probably should rake off that dirt a little bit today, and then we can maybe put down some mulch. You know, I've got like a limb shredder thing. Maybe if we put some limbs in there, we can make some mulch. Mulch is better than mud. I mean, mulch still gets tracked around and it's kind of dirty, but mud is awful. Time to wrap this video up. It rained all day yesterday and water came out of the pipe. Luckily, yeah, you could tell by the way the ground is that water was coming out of there. There's still some water in the pipe, and it just sort of runs that way, which is okay. It's okay with me. And I did some raking, a little bit of raking. It's not too bad. You can see under the eave of the house, it doesn't even get wet. I think that some water is running over the gutter. I gotta go, that's like my next job is to go up there and make sure as much water as possible is going down the gutter, because we're still getting some moisture in the basement but no ponding. So you know, that's a big win. I have to move on to other things, but if we can get rid of most of the water, that's a big deal. Gutter clean and moving on. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you learned something. Keep your basement dry. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.